are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Save $2,500 on a new furnace and air conditioner from Any Hour Services. For more information, call Any Hour Services or schedule a free estimate online at anyhourservices.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
The magic of the season is fast approaching, and Cactus and Tropicals is here to help you be holiday ready. Preview the store, decked out and bursting with festive holiday decor. Meander through the store full of lush plants, amidst twinkling lights, unique ornaments, and the freshest arrangements and foliage. Looking for a statement piece for your home? Cactus and Tropicals will help you find something incredible, including gifts for everyone on your list and you. From vibrant poinsettias and other holiday plants to unique and festive decor along with expert advice, you'll wrap it up in one, well, maybe two visits. And don't forget expert holiday design services. Sign up for plant classes and enjoy carefully curated gifting bundles. At Cactus and Tropicals, your season will surely be merry and bright. So stop in today to any of the 3 Cactus and Tropicals locations, Salt Lake, Draper, and Midvale. For special hours, orders, and more, visit cactusandtropicals.com.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Steve.
And we still have a crash on the west side belt, which is still closed off the exit ramp from southbound 215 to westbound I-80. I-15, though, rolling clean and green both ways between Ogden and Provo. Still seeing some construction delays in Tooele County, eastbound SR-36, approaching I-80. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
Partly cloudy skies with a high of 53 today. Tomorrow, we'll see highs fall to the 40s and a storm move in on Sunday, bringing rain and snow to the Wasatch Front. Right now, 52 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com for Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. Thanks for tuning into Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Utah's judiciary is now speaking out about the threats made against the judge in the state's redistricting case. While they didn't disclose the nature of the threats, they confirmed that Judge Diane Gibson has been getting them ever since her ruling on Utah's congressional maps. Joining me now live in studio to talk about it is KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson. And Heather, why is Judge Gibson getting threats?
So, Marie, there's a lot of background here, so buckle in. Judge Gibson's been on this redistricting case for some time now. First, she tossed out our current congressional maps, saying that Utah's legislature overstepped when they decided to draw their own maps instead of use the ones proposed by the state's voter-approved independent commission. She ordered the legislature to draw up a new proposal that would align with the criteria laid out in Proposition 4. So they came up with a couple different options, but ultimately brought to her what they call Map C. So for the past few weeks, the legislature and the ones suing them have been battling in court over if it's the best way to fairly split the congressional districts and the best method to test for fairness. Then finally, this was last Monday, late on the night of November 10th deadline laid out by the lieutenant governor, Judge Gibson issued her ruling in favor of the plaintiffs. That meant no Map C for the legislature, and instead the state had to adopt the plaintiff's suggestion, which lumps Salt Lake County and northern Utah County into one district that's kind of like a donut hole in the state. And as you can imagine, a lot of people, especially in Utah's legislature, were not happy about that decision. They accused her of gerrymandering in favor of the Democrats. Some people even called for her impeachment, and that's where these threats are stemming from.
So what did the Utah state courts have to say about these threats?
They had a lot of strong words to condemn these threats. They called the threats of violence against judges completely unacceptable, dangerous, and a potential violation of the law. They see it not just as a threat to the individual judge, but to the justice system itself. I spoke with Elizabeth Wright, president of the Utah State Bar, who says threats against judges have been on the rise in this political climate.
I'm concerned for our current sitting judges who have to be afraid all the time that somebody will harm them because they disagree with the decision. And I also think in the long run, it's going to affect people who are willing to apply and throw their hats in the ring to be a judge. Why would you put up with that? Why would you put yourself at risk? And it may affect the pool of lawyers who apply to be judges. That's a long-term concern. The immediate concern is for the safety of our judiciary and people who should be able to go in and do their job without threats of violence.
The state courts say judges have a constitutional duty to look at the facts and then apply the law accordingly, regardless of any external pressures. And if you have a problem with the ruling, there are legal courses of actions you can take, like going through the appellate courts or challenging this law at the legislative level. Wright says in every single court case, there's a winner and a loser, and judges shouldn't have to fear retribution after every ruling.
I hope we can all, as a society, kind of turn down the temperature on these discussions. I know the stakes are high, but our system is built to resolve these situations when the stakes are high. And unfortunately, somebody has to be a loser, and we need to accept that and, have civil dialogue, not violent dialogue.
Both Wright and the Utah State courts are now calling on everyone to stop the threats and approach concerns about court decisions with civility, respect, and constructive dialogue.
Thanks, Heather. KSL News Radio's Heather Peterson reporting on new threats against judges here in Utah.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with a Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. A new report points out that there are a surprising number of people in public service who make more than Governor Spencer Cox. The Utah Taxpayers Association's latest study highlights the 5 highest paid employees, but includes employee salaries in all 29 counties. The association's president, Billy Hesterman, joined me to summarize the results.
Well, what we found is there are at least 176 local government officials in our largest cities and all the counties and school districts that make more than the governor and his take home that he has every year. So not necessarily a bad thing, but it's just an interesting thing that oftentimes I think we think the governor earns the most, but it's not true in our local government.
Okay, you say it's not a bad thing, but what's kind of the takeaway from this?
Well, we've had a lot of people over the last couple of years contact us about their property taxes going up, and they want to know why. And the biggest item that there is in our property taxes is employee compensation. So we wanted to give a snapshot at what are our local staff members of our cities and our school districts and our counties earning. And so that's what we've done, is gone through and looked at what are the top employees making, and wanted to give taxpayers a chance to see it and decide for themselves. Do they think that's enough? Do they think it's too much? Or maybe they look at it and go, maybe they need to earn a little bit more.
So you're not like pointing the finger of blame.
Not trying to blame anyone. I have a hard time criticizing someone for, earning what their boss is willing to pay them. But it does bring into question, I do think there was a time when we thought you worked in the public sector, that you did so maybe for the benefits, or you did so because you enjoyed, serving the public. And certainly as we look at these dollar figures, so many in the 200,000s and the high, 100,000s that we go, have we maybe shifted away from that we're now looking at being really competitive with the private sector and maybe even paying more than what the private sector is paying for some of these jobs?
What was maybe the most surprising thing that you saw?
The number of city administrators or city officials we have that are making, $190,000, $199,000, $230,000. It's probably expected. They oversee a large budget and they oversee a large amount of employees at a city government. But I just thought here in Utah, we're pretty conservative, fiscally conservative, and we want to keep taxes low. Maybe we're not paying that much, but certainly we are. And a lot of our major cities are compensating those top officials fairly well.
Mm-hmm. So we've heard in the past that there are folks who make more than the governor. So that part might not be as surprising. But were you surprised by the number of people who make more than the governor?
Yeah, I think oftentimes when people say who's the highest paid government official in the state, they think of like the head football coach at the state school, or they think of a doctor at the university's medical school. But in this case, we have quite a few local, whether it's a superintendent or a school administrator or a county attorney or the city manager that are making more than the governor. And maybe that's a sign the governor needs a pay increase. I'm sure he wouldn't turn it down, but also maybe it's a sign we need to look at the what's being paid and maybe recalibrate how it's being done.
What are the couple of the people at the top of the list that make much more than the governor, or how much more do they make than the governor?
So the highest was the chief administrative officer at Salt Lake City. They had a salary, and this is just take home. It doesn't have the benefits included, of $317,000 a year. And then you get into West Valley City, had a fire chief who's making $249,000. Their city manager makes $240,000. So we just had some ones that really stood out to us. One that was interesting is when we did this report back in 2018, I want to say it was, Provo had a couple that were in the 200,000s, and now they've brought salaries down and they're back down under 200 in the 190s. So, it also comes with, as officials retire, then you can bring it back down and start over.
Right. Any final thoughts for us?
No, we hope everyone takes a look at the report at our website, utahtaxpayers.org, and, give us the feedback. Let us know what you think, and then we can work with legislators and city officials and school officials and help them make sure we get this in the right place.
Billy Hesterman is the president of the Utah Taxpayers Association.
Comcast Business is celebrating the holidays by giving your business the $1,000 holiday bonus when you switch to a gig speed internet package. Just imagine the thousands of possibilities of a $1,000 prepaid card. Like possibility number 12, a new laptop for the office holiday hero. Or possibility number 108, smart speakers to deck those hallways. Or possibility number 192, new equipment for the new year. Or possibility number 555, Bluetooth holiday lights for office decor. Switch to Comcast Business, designed for 100% reliability with business internet and wireless connect, plus advanced cybersecurity, and now get the $1,000 holiday bonus. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 12/14/25. New customers only with 2-year agreement. Requires qualifying gig package. Other restrictions apply.
Most folks wait till January to say, I should probably fix this or do something about how you feel. But you know what? You're going to go into 2026 with the resolution already done, because soda helps you lose the weight now, so your New Year's all celebration.
You and I both started our soda weight loss journey in October and November, right? And I loved going into holiday parties knowing I had a plan. It wasn't just, I'm going to try not to. It was, this is my plan, because I've spoken with a nutritionist and I get a jump start on that, first of the year goal by beginning soda weight loss right now.
Yeah, there's no guesswork. You're supported every step of the way, and you need that. And right now, there's an amazing offer from Soda for you and your partner. You join, and your partner joins for free.
So why gain 20 pounds just to lose it in the new year? Go to Soda Weight Loss today and begin today.
That's sodaweightloss.com, SOTA weightloss.com, because soda is, say it with me, Amanda, state of the art.
Hi, this is Doug Ryden. For years, I've been telling you about products I truly believe in and that we use in our home. And one is Kinetico. We all know the downsides of hard water, tough on home appliances, frustrating spots on shower doors, but it also affects your personality. When you shower, does the water feel invigorating? Hard water can leave your skin feeling sticky and itchy. A Kinetico soft water system changes everything. It's like having a luxurious spa experience when you shower, making your daily routine something you look forward to. Kinetico, it's a difference you can feel. Their patented system uses far less salt than competitors, and they're exclusively focused on water softeners. They're the experts in their field, and they'll show you the difference for free with no obligation to buy. Call Kinetico Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer, at 801-576-8600, or check them out online at softwaterutah.com. Start enjoying your water. Spoil yourself every day.
Stop for a moment and think about this. Do you know how much money in your 401k or IRA is actually yours? Or will the government take a bigger chunk than you thought? Remember, you still might owe taxes on that money. But do you have a plan to help make sure you don't pay more than you should? At Capital Wealth Advisors, we believe you deserve to keep more of what you've earned, which is why we're here to help you navigate the confusing world of retirement taxes. It's your money. You deserve to know what's at stake. Right now, taxes are historically low, but they won't be this low forever. So call the Capital Wealth Advisors team today so you don't miss out on this opportunity. 801-210-5500. That's 801-210-5500. You work hard for your money, and we'll work just as hard to help you keep it. Capital Wealth Advisors, 801-210-5500. Advisory services offered through Capital Wealth Advisors, LLC, a state of Utah registered investment advisor. Firm may not give tax advice.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. Many of northern Utah's seasonal workers remain in limbo as a result of the warm, dry fall. Ski resorts have been delaying their opening days, but yet resort workers have to be ready to head to work without much notice.
A lot of seasonal workers have to have some sort of summer employment if we don't make enough during the winter. And that summer employment, it's hard to push that summer employment into the fall, because when we start getting into like late November, that's when the resort is telling us we need to be free for whenever they want to hire us or want us to work. But we don't know exactly when we're going to work, so we're just kind of in limbo. And the longer that the snow takes to get here, the longer we spend in this limbo area where, okay, our winter employer wants us to be free, but if we're not really working, then how do we maintain our finances? So it's this weird balance of not working or still working and kind of risking it. And then, what happens if the mountain calls you up and you still have your summer job? Like, what do you do?
Sydney Heyer is Mountain Village Vice President for the Park City Ski Patrol. She tells KSL News Radio's Alexandria Bonilla it's even more complicated for the employees that don't live in Utah.
They don't live in Utah during the summer, so they come here for the fall, and then they don't have any employment for the time that they're waiting for the ski season to start, because they've left their jobs to be here when our winter employer asked us to be here, and now they're just stuck unemployed, waiting for the season to begin.
She says employees who love working at the resorts have learned to make do when things are tight.
A lot of us just kind of hope and wait, and sometimes some people find work for a landscaper for a couple days, or you'll nanny or dog walk, or maybe you know someone and you can bartend. It becomes this game of scrapping everything together and making it work until you actually do have work.
Heyer says a shorter ski season also comes with its own set of challenges.
With the late start, you're having like a reduced footprint on the mountain. So there's less area to ski, which means you need less people to staff the mountain, which means that less people are called back to work. And then if the company does try to call back more people to work, it means that everybody that's called back is working reduced hours. to like make up for that. And it's always a hard challenge because you want as many people to be working as can work. So it's nice when, the reduced hours thing is nice because then that means more people are on the mountain working, but it's also challenging because there you are working and you're not really working all that you wish you were.
She says Park City ski patrollers are excited to return to work after reaching a new employment agreement with Vail during tense negotiations last season.
We spent a ton of time over the summer trying to repair relations between management and the union and union members. And so I think I'm feeling really optimistic, and I'm sure a lot of our members are also optimistic about the relationship that we've created with management. We have worked really hard to rebuild trust on both sides, and this season is going to be an opportunity to test that trust and to see if we are really going to do all of the things that we said and try to continue to make this relationship between management and the union a great one.
Sydney Heyer is with the Park City Ski Patrol Association. Utahns are starting to pick up seasonal jobs for a little extra money around the holidays, but with the government shutdown and an unstable economy, how is seasonal hiring looking this year? I spoke with Workforce Development Specialist Troy Lamb.
Despite all of the changes happening, and as you just mentioned, some of this government shutdowns and all the things happening in our state, we still have so many great job opportunities statewide. If you go to jobs.utah.gov, that's our department's website, jobs.utah.gov. We have over 25,000 job postings available right now. And according to our state economist and previous conversations, we get about a third of what's really out there in the market posted to our website. So I'm safe to say that there's probably between 50 to 75,000 jobs available in Utah, just in Utah alone. So, there's so many opportunities. And I think sometimes the news kind of inflates the doom and gloom, but there are so many great jobs available.
Yeah, Troy, how are we doing compared to the rest of the country?
I don't quite have that statistic, but I do know that our unemployment rate is at a Utah's economy is very strong, and we have a low unemployment rate of only about 3.3%. When you compare that to the rest of the nation, we're a lot lower than a lot of other parts of the United States, for sure.
When you look at those seasonal jobs, is there one sector that's doing better than others?
I don't quite have that information in front of me. However, I know that for short-term seasonal types of jobs, most commonly, you're going to be looking at hospitality, different customer service types of jobs, recreational type of jobs. We think about, with the ski season coming up, a lot of concerts and venues. So they're always needing more people to help out in a lot of different sectors and areas between, as I say, restaurant, hospitality, stores, box stores. A lot of retail space is looking for usually a lot of people this time of year.
Yeah.
And the truth be known, a lot of companies actually started hiring more for seasonal work, usually around August. So not to say that there's not a jobs available right now available still for seasonal. However, if you are a seasonal worker or would like to work more seasonal jobs or during the season to make some extra money, you usually want to start looking around August to September.
Okay. You mentioned the low unemployment rate. Does that mean that some of these employers are having a hard time finding folks to fill those positions?
I think that we still have a lot of job seekers out there that are available. I mean, we do have a low unemployment rate, meaning that there's a lot of people that are working. And so there's still a lot of opportunity to have people being hired in a lot of different types of positions that might be available. But I think that, generally with our economy the way it is in Utah, employers are still finding a lot of great talent with a lot of different people. And there's, as we know, a lot of people still moving into the state of Utah as well.
Yeah. Do you have the numbers that show how we're doing in comparison to last year at this time?
I do not have that in front of me. Sorry.
That's okay. Troy, thanks so much for being with me today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the opportunity. And if you have any questions, need any services, workshops, help with training, retraining, apprenticeships, internships, on-the-job training, anything we can do to help you with your resume or your interviewing skills, finding employment, networking, anything we can do for you, jump on our website, jobs.utah.gov, and check out our site, and as well as find a local office near you. We've got about 30 offices across the state from Logan to St. George.
That is Workforce Development Specialist Troy Lamb.
Hi, Grandma. What's for dinner?
Hey, honey, I'm making stew tonight.
Ooh, can Nina come over?
I'm not sure about our new friend. I wonder if there's been any drinking going on. Alcohol at her age can lead to so many bad things. I've been meaning to ask you, what would happen if someone offered you a drink?
Grandma?
This is hard. She's so young, but I know I need to talk to her about it now before someone tries to give her alcohol. If anyone ever does offer you a drink, I want you to say no. I have too much respect for my family, and I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay.
Really?
I promise, Grandma. I love you too.
Okay, how about tasting this stew and telling me what you think?
Some children may try alcohol as young as 9 years old. It's not too early to talk about drinking. For tips on how to begin the conversation, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. That's underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. This message brought to you by SAMHSA and this station.
Over the years, you've brought them into your home. You were prescribed opioids after the C-section, when Dad injured his back, when your basketball star tore his ACL. Opioids helped with the pain, and you held on to them just in case. But did you know holding on to unused opioids puts your family at risk? Opioids are powerful pain-reducing prescription medicines, but most people who are prescribed opioids don't finish their prescriptions. So millions of unused opioids are sitting in homes across the country. And tragically, more than 100 Americans die every day from overdoses involving opioids. What can you do to protect your family? Remove the risk of unused opioids from your home. Pills, patches, or syrups in drawers, purses, and cabinets, anywhere they might be hiding. To find out how to dispose of them properly, visit www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
Email from school about the incident today.
Scary.
Tell me about it. Did you have any idea that was going on?
None. I mean, you saw Derek at the game last night too. Did you have a clue?
No, but you know, teachers like me, parents, we don't always know as much as you guys do. Kids hear first about what's going on with other kids.
Half the time, it's rumors.
It can be hard to tell sometimes, but if you're ever concerned about a friend who's having trouble with alcohol, prescription drugs, bullying, violence, anything, you need to tell an adult. Mom or me, a teacher, coach, school counselor, someone you know and trust.
Dad, no kid is gonna tell an adult about that kind of stuff.
I get it, but if we don't know, we can't help. Speaking up about a problem, that's what helping a friend is all about.
For more information, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
1:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott, KSL's top story this hour. And it is breaking news. The New York Times is reporting that President Trump spoke with Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro over the phone last week. The Times claims the two spoke about possibly meeting. This comes as Trump continues to threaten military action against the country, and it comes days after the State Department designated Maduro as the leader of a terrorist organization. The FBI has reported a new seizure in its investigation into a drug kingpin who's known for his participation in the 2002 Winter Olympics.
An international manhunt is underway for Ryan Wedding, a former Canadian Olympic snowboarder turned drug kingpin. He's on the FBI's most wanted list. It's believed he's in Mexico right now, being protected by the Sinaloa cartel. The FBI here in L.A. says it has seized a rare $13 million Mercedes CLK GTR Roadster that belonged to Wedding. It's a hypercar. There were only about 6 of the Roadsters ever built. Eventually, it could go up for auction, and it's expected to create a global bidding war. Alex Stone, ABC News, Los Angeles.
San Juan County officials are looking for a 75-year-old man missing since Tuesday. The sheriff's office says Joseph Patrick was expected to attend 2 Thanksgiving events in Bluff yesterday, but never showed up. He is white with green eyes and white hair. If anyone has information on his whereabouts, call 911. Your money at this moment, the stock market closed early today. The Dow closed up 289 points. The S&P was up 36 points. And coming up, temperatures fall this weekend. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 1:31.
Mr. Max, suiting for every important chapter of your life. Weddings, proms, new job, any celebration, mission callings, and more. Mr. Max there to suit your needs with 9 locations or MrMac.com.
Just how good is Pure Talk's current deal for unlimited wireless? Well, you might say it's the deal of your lifetime. Because right now, for just $29.95 a month, Pure Talk is offering unlimited talk, text, and data for life. Not your phone's life, your life. This is Pure Talk's top-tier plan. It comes with a crazy fast 5G network along with a 30-gig hotspot. And at just $29.95 a month, there has never been a better opportunity to lock in a ridiculously low rate for as long as you live. And save thousands and thousands of dollars along the way. This plan is normally $65 a month, but if you switch today, you will save over 50% every single month for the rest of your life. See what I mean? It really is the deal of your lifetime. Dial pound 250, say micro. Offer ends 12/7. Some restrictions apply. Details at puretalk.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Steve.
Yeah, we still have a crash in the clearing stages. Pretty much cleared now, but that ramp is still closed at the 215 West Belt there, where you exit from southbound 215 to the west side belt, heading west on I-80. Plus busy traffic, busy Black Friday traffic on State Street right now by the mall between 72nd and 5300 South. Otherwise, still looking good if you're on I-15. That's both ways between Brigham City and Spanish Ford. Try UTA and get more done while you ride. Games, work, book, shows, and more. You'll be too busy to notice all the traffic you're missing. Plan your trip at ridetoUTA.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
A high of 53 today with partly cloudy skies. Temperatures drop tomorrow to a high 44. We'll see temperatures stick to the low 40s through next week. Right now, 54 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com for Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Okay, one thing that's been bothering me lately, and it does it every year, I know, it's dark. It's so dark in the morning when I wake up. Now, as we move into winter, we all know it's inevitable. The days get shorter, the nights get longer. Joining me today on Health Matters to talk about it is the clinical director of Two Brothers Counseling in Ogden.
So a myriad of things happen this time of year, but I think oftentimes for some people it's unwanted self-reflection. These holiday seasons tend to bring up a lot of memories for people. Some of the memories are fond memories, and some of them are painful memories, like unwanted memories, due to, adverse childhood experiences, due to unresolved pain points that still need to be healed, but the person's not being intentional about taking that time to address those wounds. And then, of course, there's, they talk about the combination between nature versus nurture. So there is also a biological component to this time of season where at the end of the day, we're getting less sunlight. We're getting less of that good nutrients that come from the sun. So there's always some intentional modifications that need to be made as well when it just comes to our composition as human beings.
So why is it some of us are more affected than others?
Again, I just kind of go towards that balance between nature versus nurture. Some people have the genetic makeup where they can be in this type of season and it has minimal to no effect. And then there's some of us where we don't have the genetic makeup for us to be in a season where there's minimal sunlight, where you're sequestered to being indoors more than outdoors, and some of those things that can kind of help us to sustain balance as human beings. And then again, I go back to kind of like that nurture piece is what has been your lived experiences. And again, these types of seasons cause us to slow down more. We're more indoors. Like, again, for those of us who like to keep ourselves busy so we don't have to like face the things that are like in the dark reaches of our minds, this season kind of puts us in a more slower pace. So I think it's a combination of things that cause some people to be more, I would say, adaptive during this season than others.
So what are some things that we can do during this season to boost our mental health, to make us feel better?
I think sometimes we kind of overlook some of the awesome resources that are readily available to us. One of them that I would recommend is a solid vitamin D supplement. I think people kind of lose sight as over-the-counter, maybe $5 to $7 supplement can make a world of difference because, again, we're getting less sunlight. We are, there's a saying like we are children of the sun, like we get our energy from there. So, I mean, having a solid vitamin D supplement could be the panacea that we're looking for. And then on top of it, I think intentional and curated moments of connection with other human beings. Because again, these seasons cause us to be less like outdoors, less. So it's important for us to find ways to, still hang out and spend quality time with human beings that we care about. And then also, as a mental health professional, I'm just going to say this. I think it's time for us to allow ourselves to work through whatever we've been putting off. I think summer seasons, spring seasons, and even like early fall seasons, we find ways to just keep ourselves busy. And just because we're keeping ourselves busy doesn't mean we're okay. So I think it's time for us to be able to say, hey, like, let me take some time and tend to myself. Let me give myself a little TLC, a little tender love and care during this season. And then, like I said, taking advantage of your abundance of resources. Like if you're working with a primary care provider, combine that with a mental health professional. Combine that with a nutritionist, like combine that with a dietitianist. We have a plethora of resources that can help us to find balance during these winter seasons so we're not spiraling into seasonal depression or, seasonal affective disorder. And then if we're having a tinge of those symptoms, it doesn't have to be like cascading into like this exacerbated experience. It can be a tinge because we're taking the steps to really mitigate and alleviate those symptoms so they don't hinder us from enjoying what the winter season has to offer. There's so much for this winter season to offer us, but if we're not tending to ourselves, and there's an awesome method that I encourage people to use to check in. It's called the HALT method, and that's the European word for stop, and each letter means a self-inventory practice. The first is the H, which is hungry. The A is angry. The L is lonely. And then the T is tired. It's awesome for us to do self-inventory, check in, and to meet our needs.
Okay, any final thoughts for us?
I just say be kind to ourselves during this season. I mean, at the end of the day, again, we all have our own histories. Some of us, we've gone through a lot of different, adversities, different challenges. It hasn't been an easy year. For others, this has been a victory lap. So for those of us who have had, some challenges, give ourselves some TLC. Like, let's take care of ourselves. Let's be kind to ourselves, and let's be in community and let's do our best to kind of uplift our spirits during this time.
Gregory Noel is a licensed marriage and family therapist at Two Brothers Counseling in Ogden. And I will say that the dark mornings have been bugging me so much that I tried out a new alarm clock this morning that mimics the sunrise. It goes off at 6 a.m., but I don't think I have it programmed quite right. I'm going to need some work on that. So let's just say I'm a work in progress.
I'm Christian Staples with Arctic Spas. The biggest savings day for the stuff you want is Black Friday, right? Well, at Arctic Spas, it's Black Saturday, which is way better than Black Friday since we are closed on Black Friday. For one day only, we are offering an extra savings of up to $1,000 on top of up to the $5,000 in free upgrades and discounts. This is just like me writing you a check for $1,000 on Saturday. Just like other Black Friday specials, this won't happen on Monday, only on Saturday. We have spas starting out at only $7,000 to fit every budget. This winter, make it warmer with a hot tub, swim spa, all-weather pool, or a sauna. Check out Arctic Spas on Black Saturday, but not Black Friday. Closed on Friday, open on Saturday, with the extra savings for you. Pick out your perfect hot tub, swim spa, sauna, or cold tub at arcticspasutah.com, or visit one of our 3 stores covering all of Utah in Salt Lake, American Fork, and St. George. Arctic Spa, the only spa built for Utah's harsh climate.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. Delta Airlines is expanding its presence in Salt Lake City again, not in gate numbers, but in cargo. The airline announcing plans to develop a new cargo hub at the airport. I spoke with Leo Malloy, Director of Cargo Operation for North America at Delta Airlines, to find out more on the project and how they'll work with the Inland Port Authority.
It's a former Postal Service facility that they had on the grounds of Salt Lake City. And it gave us the opportunity, as we're looking at expanding overall our footprint. Their location was great, and the square footage was significantly larger than our existing one. So what we're doing is, in essence, taking the shell of the USPS building, enlarging it in ways that we need to do it, and having, at least for Delta in North America, it'll be the most state-of-the-art facility that we have, both from a customer perspective as well as the truckers that bring the cargo in for us and our employees. So we are thrilled. It's a rare opportunity, and I think Delta, we have a reputation of being nimble and taking advantage of opportunities when we see them, and this is a perfect example of that because it was one that USPS was kind of walking away from, but a great opportunity for us.
So describe for us how you will be working in partnership with the Utah Inland Port Authority.
Well, we've worked with them very closely on the financing and the agreements that really allow us to take on this facility. There's ongoing partnerships where I know that they have been key in trying to get new business into Salt Lake City. We, as you know, have just recently launched our Incheon operation, and then we'll actually be doing temporarily for a few weeks in the winter, we'll be doing nonstop Lima out of Salt Lake City. And all of those have been in partnership and coordination with the airport authority there. But they've been excellent for us to work with, and we really do have a great partnership and see that how our growth in Salt Lake City it's a win-win for both them and for us and the community, frankly.
The chair of the Utah Inland Port Authority has called this a real game changer. Can you help us understand how that really changes things for them?
So we now have trucking operations, and we'll expand those from Salt Lake City to other major cargo destinations, Dallas, Fort Worth, Denver, Colorado, being two large ones. Prior to this facility and the international service that we're flying into there, we would have been fairly limited in how we can get that cargo to these other destinations. So, for example, we would have been flying at times into LA or into, frankly, Atlanta to truck to Dallas. So having Salt Lake City, both from a positioning a little deeper in the country from Los Angeles, gives us really good visibility to some of these other locations that have a need and have expressed interest in cargo overall. But for us, Delta Cargo. So the growth of the facility, the size of it is critical for us. But then the other piece is we'll have expanded cooler capabilities, which will allow us to move some of the most important pharmaceuticals and things like that to and from Salt Lake City.
The new facility is scheduled to open sometime in 2027.
KSL traffic right now still have a ramp closure on the 215 West Side Belt Route. This is the exit ramp from southbound 215 to westbound I-80. That remains closed due to an earlier crash. Plus busy Black Friday traffic on State Street by the mall between 72nd and 53rd South. Otherwise, we're still looking good if you're on I-15. That's both ways between Brigham City and Spanish Fort. While you're planning your day, plan for comfort too with the Good Feet store. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. Steve Carlson at the KSL Traffic Center.
There's no place like home, but home ownership is slipping away in Utah, and young Utahns are being priced out of their own communities. The U.S. economy is built on the idea that 30% of your income should go towards housing. But in Utah, families are spending nearly 66% just to keep a roof overhead. On top of that, the average homeowner in Utah has nearly $400,000 in net worth. For renters, it's barely $10,000. And with Utah already on track to be short more than 153,000 homes by 2030, that gap is only growing. Every community in Utah plays a part in finding solutions. More homes mean more opportunity for teachers, nurses, police officers, and every family that makes Utah what it is. Learn more about Utah's housing shortage and what we can do to begin to fix it at demandmoresupply.com. That's demandmoresupply.com. Make your voice heard right now. Log on to demandmoresupply.com. demandmoresupply.com. Together, we can keep families close.
KSL Broadcast Group contests are open to participants 18 years of age and older that are residents of Utah, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest may not enter. Persons who have won in the last 30, 60, or 90 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available at kslnewsradio.com/contests.
You gave years, maybe decades to your job. You showed up, worked hard, and planned for retirement. But now, the company's changed. Or maybe you've taken a buyout or been forced into early retirement. So, what happens next? I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. And if you've built up a 401k or thrift savings plan, now is the time to ask, is that money really working for you? Many workplace retirement plans offer limited options and even less guidance. At Trajan Wealth, we help people just like you roll over their accounts into IRAs with more flexibility and personalized investment strategies built around your goals. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a personalized plan. We operate on veteran values, service, trust, and doing what's right. Your next chapter starts now. Call Trajan today, 801-207-9900. That's 801-207-9900.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor. See website for details.
You know what? I think the holidays are the worst time of year for your furnace to go out. What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and every November, it feels like people get extra stressed when faced with the need to replace their furnace. The money they've been saving is supposed to go to Christmas, and now they're faced with a choice: Christmas or comfort. This holiday season, Any Hour Services wants to help alleviate some of that stress with our special holiday financing. No money down and no payments until next year. Plus, if you schedule a free estimate before the end of November, Any Hour Services will give you $2,500 off any full system you buy. And that doesn't even factor in the rebates and incentives you might qualify for. Again, during the month of November, Any Hour Services will give you $2,500 off any furnace and air conditioner you buy. And you can take advantage of our special holiday financing with no money down and no payments until next year. For more details, call Any Hour Services and schedule a free estimate. Google Any Hour Services or schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. You might not think about it with the mild weather that we have today, but the start of the ski season is just a few weeks away, and that means it's time for skiers and snowboarders to get snow ready in order to improve their leg strength and mobility as the season gets underway. Personal trainer at Planet Fitness West Valley, Dylan Suarez, says that there are some simple things you can do that will help you prevent both injury and those early season aches.
First and foremost, you have to have good legs. That's like the fundamental, the essence of everything. And so just to strengthen those legs, you've got your basic movements, which are just your squats, as well as just leg extension, leg curls, kind of to fortify those quadriceps, as well as your hamstrings. And then you've got more dynamic movements. We're talking running, we're talking jumping rope, even the Stairmaster at your local gym. Those are really good movements that'll just get your legs not only stronger, but also primed for winter season for that skiing and snowboarding that we'll do.
Where would you tell people to start so they actually enjoy the experience more?
For sure, I would say start with just body weight exercises. Like, I know a lot of people have difficulties with their legs, right? We got people with maybe, knee issues. They've got a lot of balance issues as well. And so start with body weight exercises. We're talking body weight squats. Things that are really simple. Just getting up and getting active, going for walks, even getting in and out of a chair, just in your office, is also really beneficial, yeah.
How much of a difference does it make to get a little bit fit, even just a little bit primed for the season when it comes to injuries? How much of a difference can we make?
A lot. I'd say just in between a person that's, not prepped at all versus a person that is prepped, they're ready, they're moving, you're going to have a lot more fun, I'd say. Just in terms of actually, performing well out there on the slopes, avoiding injury overall, you're going to have a lot more fun. Not to mention, the side effects of exercise as well, which are just, reducing stress, reducing blood pressure levels, and just overall, just a better quality of life.
Yeah, it's so much, so wonderful for those of us who aren't out all the time to get on the slopes and just feel that wind kind of rushing through our hair and, be enjoying the conditions. So you're right. Mental health is huge when it comes to being out in the outdoors.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, me personally, I've always liked it. I mean, I grew up here in Utah, so I know what it is to go and snowboard. It's really just an experience, and you get out there, get a good mind space going, and it's really relaxing. So I love it personally.
Yeah. Is there a difference in getting conditioned when it comes to snowboarding and skiing?
I would say there are some differences. Yeah, totally. I would say I'm a big snowboarder, so I love to go on the slopes, but I would say snowboarding's definitely more rotational. The way your body is kind of prepped on a snowboard, you're standing up on a different plane than you would be on a snowboard. You're facing a different way on a pair of skis, I meant. And so it's more rotational. Your spine is fighting more to keep yourself on balance, to fight. Also, just the slope as well, maintaining balance, finding strength to keep going as well. While skiing is more, it's less balance orientated and more strength. You know what I mean? You have to push more with your legs. You have to use your hands to be able to hold the reins as well, to be able to push yourself along. So small differences, but the basics stay the same. You have to have strong legs, get those glutes and your core engaged.
Yeah, just wondering about those hip movements, though. Are there some things that people who snowboard do that are just a little bit different as far as maybe moving their upper body?
I think personally, just with snowboarding, you tend to move your arms more in a circular fashion. And with skiing, you tend to move them more back and forth, right? And so the anatomy of it all, you're more focused on keeping your arms out while you're snowboarding, right? Which might just lead your hips to move a little bit more. You're less stabilized. As with skis, you have that stability there. They're already right set. You have two, as well as the sticks, the poles that you have. So it requires less balance, I would say, and more just maintaining momentum, finding out how to balance as well on the skis. I know is also difficult. Overall, just those minute differences. But yeah.
Yeah, any final thoughts you'd like to leave us with?
Just exercise overall. Get yourself primed.
Yeah, before I let you go, though, are there some things that the cold makes us think about when it comes to our bodies and getting prepared to go out and be on the slopes?
Just making sure that you're getting in at least 10 minutes of stretching before, even 5 minutes before, is excellent. Not only for your joints, but as well as your muscles, right? It's going to prevent injury. It's going to also help you last longer on the slopes. And overall, you're going to be warmer for when you actually get there instead of freezing cold.
Dylan Suarez is a trainer at Planet Fitness in West Valley. We'll have a video demonstration with some of his tips up at kslnewsradio.com and on our social media channels. Just search for KSL News Radio.
My savings are gone.
Okay, where were they last?
Here, right before I spent them on that vacation to Aruba.
Weird. Not weird. Not saving now means no money later. For free ways to save, go to feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for about 5 seconds. At highway speeds, that's enough time to travel the length of a football field. Stop texts. StopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. It drove me crazy. It got so bad, I couldn't do my homework. I couldn't concentrate. I absolutely refused to let any of my friends come to our house for any reason. I would have been humiliated if anyone found out how much my dad drank and how loud my mom screamed at him. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful. The only thing that happened is my mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. Her relationship with my dad really changed. I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I wanted to see if I could have a better relationship with my dad. I'm sure glad I did. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
KSL FM Midvale, KSL Salt Lake City.
2 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. A Mill Creek man is under arrest on suspicion of robbing his neighbor through a hole in their shared garages.
An officer with the Unified Police Department was talking to the neighbor, who said sometime during the week someone had cut a hole in the wall separating his garage from his neighbor's, and then stole about $1,100 worth of tools, clothes, shoes, games, and other things. The officer says as he and the victim were talking, the victim's neighbor walked up and admitted to taking the items, but said that he was willing to give it all back. Jason Cannett could be facing charges of burglary, possession of a firearm by a restricted person, and theft. Don Brinkerhoff, KSL News Radio.
Our top national story this hour from ABC News. The suspect who shot 2 National Guard members in D.C. this week, allegedly killing one, is facing first-degree murder charge. We now know the suspect was from Afghanistan and worked with the CIA during the war there.
Based on what we've learned thus far is that this is an individual, like thousands of other Afghanistanis, who worked closely with the U.S. military and intelligence community, not only as interpreters, but also to fight terrorists in Afghanistan. That means that while he was there, he would have been heavily vetted by the CIA, DOD, and other authorities to make sure he was not an insider threat and posed a risk to our forces.
That's former Acting Undersecretary for Intelligence at the Department of Homeland Security, John Cohen. Your money at this moment. The stock market closed early today. The Dow closed up 289 points. The S&P was up 36. And coming up, incoming storm. KSL Weather's next. KSL News Time 2:01.
Getting help with electrical repairs is easier than you think. All you have to do is call Any Hour Services or schedule an appointment at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Hi, this is Doug Ryden. For years, I've been telling you about products I truly believe in and that we use in our home. And one is Kinetico. We all know the downsides of hard water, tough on home appliances, frustrating spots on shower doors, but it also affects your personality. When you shower, does the water feel invigorating? Hard water can leave your skin feeling sticky and itchy. A Kinetico soft water system changes everything. It's like having a luxurious spa experience when you shower, making your daily routine something you look forward to. Kinetico, it's a difference you can feel. Their patented system uses far less salt than competitors, and they're exclusively focused on water softeners. They're the experts in their field, and they'll show you the difference for free with no obligation to buy. Call Kinetico Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent dealer, at 801-576-8600, or check them out online at softwaterutah.com. Start enjoying your water. Spoil yourself every day.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BOOST25 to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BOOST25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Steve.
Well, that ramp is still closed from southbound I-215 on the west side over to the westbound portion of I-80. That's still closed due to a semi-rollover crash. Plus, busy Black Friday traffic continues on State Street by Fashion Place between 72nd and 53rd South. Otherwise, no delays traveling I-15. That's either direction right now between Ogden and Provo. Try UTA and get more done while you ride. Games, work, books, and shows. You'll be too busy to notice all the traffic you're missing. Plan your trip at rideuta.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
Partly cloudy skies with highs in the 50s today. Tomorrow, we'll see highs fall to the 40s and a storm move in on Sunday, bringing rain and snow to the Wasatch Front. Right now, it is 52 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com, Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. New troubling numbers for first-time home buyers. The average age for a first-time buyer in the U.S. now sits at 40. But does Utah follow the national trend? Utah's housing shortage, we have special coverage on Midday. Deseret News reporter Lisa Riley-Roche has been researching the topic and gets us up to date on what she's learned.
Well, the National Association of Realtors does a nationwide survey of home buyers every year, and they've just put out some new data from this year's survey. And the median age, the typical age for someone buying their first home in the United States is at an all-time high. It's now 40 years old. Last year broke a record as well, and that was 38. the deputy chief economist and vice president of research at the National Association of Realtors has called it kind of a shocking number.
So what is happening? Why is this age going up and up?
Well, I think we can sum it up in something we all associate with the housing market these days, and that's affordability or the lack of affordability. What happened was when the pandemic hit, interest rates were, of course, low and even went a little lower. But at the same time, there was suddenly a huge demand for housing, and that drove up prices. And then interest rates went up to counter the inflation caused by the pandemic. And that combination of much higher prices for homes and people getting into bidding wars for homes, offering all cash to make a purchase, plus an increase in interest rates, just priced so many people out of the market, not just in Utah, but nationwide. Of course, Utah's a little bit different because we culturally tend to marry younger, start families younger, and look for a home at a younger age. Although nobody in Utah apparently tracks the age of first-time home buyers. There is some data available on mortgage holders overall, and as I was told by an expert at the University of Utah's Kempsey Gardner Policy Institute who provided this data, it's probably safe to assume most Utahns in their 30s or even younger getting a mortgage are probably making their first home purchase, right? So about 35% of the new mortgages in the state in 2024, the most current year data is available, about 35% of those mortgages went to Utahns who were aged 25 to 34. So, and that's, again, all mortgages. And the data also does not include all cash purchases of homes, which who has enough money to buy a house with cash, right?
I don't know anyone, honestly.
But about 10% of the sales in Utah are all cash transactions. So it's hard to compare those two numbers. But experts told me yesterday that Utah is probably getting close to that 40-year national number just because, again, affordability.
Yeah. I mean, when I hear that, 40, I'm wondering, and that's got to be discouraging for a lot of people. And I'm wondering, are some people just giving up on even the thought of buying a home?
That's exactly what's happening, according to the vice president of the Utah Association of Realtors, Aaron Dressel. He told me that one of the things they're running into in the real estate market right now are would-be homeowners who have just decided to step out of the market for now and see what happens. They are frustrated and discouraged, even though they are, as he said, fighting the same fight as the rest of the country in terms of affordability. It's hard, though. Interest rates have been tracking downward recently, thanks to the Fed cuts in interest rates, but they're still twice as high as they were when they were at record lows. And at the same time, housing prices are not dropping. They may not be increasing as fast, but they're still much higher than they were before the pandemic. So a lot of buyers are hesitant. And the other piece that's adding to that hesitancy, of course, is the economic uncertainty nationwide, a lot of that surrounding President Trump's tariff policies and the impact that's had on the stock market and other aspects of the economy. You know, there have been many changes in the tariffs since they were first implemented earlier this year, or first talked about earlier this year. And that's created economic uncertainty. And economic uncertainty, the natural response to that, I'm told, and I think we'd all agree with this, is just to take a step back and wait and see what's going to happen.
Lisa,
so our own polling at the Deseret News and the University of Utah's Hinckley Institute of Politics has shown a slight majority of Utahns are putting off making a big purchase this year, whether it's a home or a car, because of that uncertainty.
Has the governor's goal of 35,000 more starter homes, has that made any sort of impact on the market?
Well, they are working hard on this, but according to the state-run housing database, only about 5,800 homes have been built that meet that kind of starter home goal, or towards that starter home goal. They are working now on getting condominiums built that would be priced at a starter home point that would allow first-time buyers to get into the real estate market. They'd be able to buy a condo at a lower price through some changes in the law that make it more appealing to builders to actually construct condos and make it easier to get loans to do so. That is supposed to help toward this goal, but those projects are just now being decided, and so it's going to be some time before those are on the market as well.
Anything else that we need to add?
A lot of developers now are offering big incentives to get buyers. At the same time, sellers are having to accommodate buyers who are a little more hesitant, and that can mean price cuts. So state agents and developers would tell you, don't shy away from the market, see what's out there, see what you might be able to get into.
And you can read Lisa's full story at Deseret.com.
Most folks wait till January to say, I should probably fix this or do something about how you feel. But you know what? You're going to go into 2026 with the resolution already done, because soda helps you lose the weight now, so your New Year's all celebration.
You and I both started our soda weight loss journey in October and November, right? And I loved going into holiday parties knowing I had a plan. It wasn't just, I'm going to try not to. It was, this is my plan, because I've spoken with a nutritionist and I get a jump start on that, first of the year goal by beginning soda weight loss right now.
Yeah, there's no guesswork. You're supported every step of the way, and you need that. And right now, there's an amazing offer from Soda for you and your partner. You join, and your partner joins for free.
So why gain 20 pounds just to lose it in the new year? Go to Soda Weight Loss today and begin today.
That's sodaweightloss.com, SOTA weightloss.com, because soda is, say it with me, Amanda, state of the art.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. West Siders in Salt Lake County better prepare themselves for a few more years of road construction. UDOT is moving ahead with plans to convert Mountain View Corridor into a full-fledged freeway. The first part of this freeway conversion will take place between Porter Rockwell Boulevard in Harriman and Old Bingham Highway in West Jordan. UDOT Communications Director John Gleason tells KSL News Radio's Cam Elliott that he's excited to see this part of the state thrive as they expand transit capabilities.
We had a lot of foresight years ago to purchase the land and the space needed to not only create the freeway, but also the frontage roads around it that would serve the communities as well. And so, it's that vision that's coming to fruition right now. The far west, western part of Salt Lake County, it's just continues to expand, and we want to make sure that we're making smart transportation decisions for the future, so that we can have the transportation system that our kids dream of.
The costs of construction materials have gone way up in recent years, prompting some concerns about the cost for the project. Gleason says UDOT has been preparing for this for quite some time, and they'll work to keep costs to a minimum.
with this project, we've been planning on it for decades now, and the freeway is going to just really be put in between the existing Mountain View corridor that's functioning right now. And so a lot of the cost is cut down because we don't need to do worry about things like right of way, and a lot of the utilities are already in place. And so, there's still a lot of things that have to happen, and we'll work to make sure that all of the needs of the area are met.
From the beginning of the project until its completion, Gleason says they've been taking their learnings from the Bangor Freeway conversion project and are hoping that this will be a much less painful experience for all.
KSL Traffic, sponsored by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Looks like delays continue if you're traveling on southbound 215 heading to westbound I-80. The ramp there is still closed due to a semi-rollover crash. Plus, good speeds on I-15 if you're traveling either direction right now between Brigham City and Spanish Fork. A little busy around the malls today, depending on which one you're going to, especially Fashion Place in Murray between 72nd and 53rd South. Find a nativity perfect for your home or to gift to loved ones. Every style, every size, every budget. Celebrate the true meaning of Christmas with nativities at Deseret Book and DeseretBook.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Cunahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions and bring you a special Black Friday offer.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/radio to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/radio. And now, as a special Black Friday offer, you can get a free gutter inspection, plus up to 35% off. This is our best offer of the season. Unlock it now at leaffilter.com/radio. See representative for warranty details.
Maria Shilaos coming to you from Cactus and Tropicals in Midvale. And boy, if you are not in the holiday spirit, this is the place to come. With me today is the general manager, Kathy Harbin. For me, this is the day when I'm going to be putting up the Christmas tree, doing all the decorations, and you have something for everyone here.
We really do. We have all kind of holiday plants, Christmas trees, poinsettias, amaryllis, paperwhites, and even terrariums and orchids and anything you can imagine. We have bonsai and cactus and all kinds of fun things. So there's something for everybody for sure.
One thing I love about Cactus and Tropicals is the customer service. Your employees know their stuff. It's not like going to some other plant store where people don't know what kinds of plants they're dealing with, and they can give us some inspiration as well.
Gosh, you're right. That's really important to us. We talk about plant care every day. We want to be the experts in plant care. We want to be able to help you solve your problems and help you choose the right plants for the right locations, and it's really important to us that we can help you be successful.
It's fun to come into the store. I'm inspired just by coming in. For those folks who maybe haven't been out to this newest store, kind of describe what they'll find here.
It is in the old Vincent Drug building, which if you're familiar with the movie The Sandlot, they filmed a lot of the movie in this location, and we tried to keep the same vibe. We've got some of the old flooring and the old window that's been in the front of the store since the 40s, and it's just a kind of a funkier, more boutique-y space, I would say, while offering all the same things we offer at our other locations.
Pretty fun. And then there's a discount, at Bambino's? Tell us about that.
Right. So we share the space with the Bambino. It's a character from The Sandlot, an amazing pizza place. And every time you buy a pizza, you get $10 off a Christmas tree at Cactus and Tropicals.
And tomorrow, for Small Business Saturday, also a 20% discount, and that is at all Cactus and Tropical locations. Salt Lake, here in Midvale at the newest location, and in Draper as well.
With Steel, batteries are included. This holiday season, give a gift that's ready to go right out of the box. For everything from cleaning up the yard to cutting up firewood, Steel tools check off the wish list and knock out the to-do list. And right now, buy select battery tool sets and get a free extra battery. Visit SteelUSA.com for holiday deals and gift ideas. Happy holidays from Steel. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Sure. Humans can be a little weird at times, but take it from me, I'm a dog. And a person is about the best thing that can happen to a shelter pet. So if you want to learn how you can be that person, get down to your local pet shelter or visit theshelterpetproject.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too.
Al-Anon
and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. You were listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. Throughout the government shutdown, the expiring tax credits within the Affordable Care Act have made the news many times. You'll recall that's what Democrats were pushing for as they continue to vote against the funding bill that would reopen the government. Speaking of health care coverage, open enrollment for the Affordable Care Act is now underway. With the expiring tax credits in mind, what do you need to pay attention to if you and your family get your insurance from the healthcare marketplace? Dr. Catherine Hebstead with the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation has a thorough breakdown.
And the first thing I want to double down on for people is that the coverage itself is not changing. The coverage itself is the same. And I think, it was unfortunate during all the sort of political back and forth about this. Some politicians took to the airwaves and said things like, this is terrible coverage and stuff like that. It's not true. This is coverage that's very, very much like employer coverage. It's comprehensive. It covers all the medical services that people need. It covers drugs. It's not terrible coverage. And the coverage is not changing. Like the standards, the requirements, that's all the same. So I wouldn't want people to draw the conclusion that the individual market is no longer a useful place for coverage. It is, but it's just become more expensive. So I think to get to your question, some people are going to consider whether they should drop down to a lower actuarial value plan to save money. So, in the individual market, there's different metal levels, bronze, silver, gold, platinum, and they correspond with different trade-offs basically between premiums and cost sharing. That they're all the same in terms of what they cover, and there's no like free lunch or bargain or secret. It's just you're going to pay a lot every month and have a low deductible, or you're going to pay less every month and have a really high deductible. So most people pick silver. Like 67% of people pick silver. Some people pick bronze, and they tend to be either people that hardly have any money and that's all they can afford, or they really feel comfortable that they could handle a $3,000 bill, and so they'll take that risk. So it's kind of the different people can find that's the right plan for them, and then not that many people, but some people choose gold, and those are people that sort of know they're going to use care a lot. They don't want a lot of volatility, so they pay higher premium, and they have lower cost sharing and a lower deductible. So that's kind of the landscape. So when premiums go up, some people may say, oh, I'm going to drop down to bronze. I'm going to choose a bronze plan instead because that's going to be more manageable for me, with my monthly, the monthly bills I have. And that can be the right decision for people. Of course, what they'll notice is that when they do go seek care, they're going to have to spend more money out of their own pocket, and they're going to have a higher deductible. But I want to point out that even in a bronze plan, all of your basic preventive services are available to you with no out-of-pocket costs. So if you get your vaccinations, you get cancer screenings, you get a mammogram, all those kinds of things, those are covered at no cost to you. So you can still get those visits even if you have a bronze plan. So, it's sometimes I feel like people could sort of fall into a mindset where they say, well, that coverage is worthless because I have so much out-of-pocket expenditure. But it's really not, I mean, if you end up in the emergency room, you'll be sorry because you'll have a big bill, but you do get all the preventive care with no cost sharing. And, your exposure is limited to your maximum out of pocket, which is, it's about $11,000. It's a lot, but, I think everybody knows it could be a lot worse if you didn't have coverage and you ended up, in some situation where you had a huge number of bills. It could greatly exceed that, very fast. So I do think that it's better than nothing. And for some people, it will be the right choice. One thing I want to say, and this is a little bit in the weeds, but if your income is below 250% of the federal poverty limit, you are eligible for a benefit that's called cost sharing reduction, which is exactly what it sounds like. It means that you will pay less for copays, you will pay less for coinsurance. So you only can get that benefit if you're in a silver plan. So if you're a low income person and you're feeling like, oh, I'm going to drop down to bronze, it does come with a pretty big trade-off because you're going to lose that cost sharing reduction. So, if you can find a way to stay in silver, it's, I think, there's a lot of benefits to staying in silver. So those are some things about, thinking about what plan to be in. I mean, there's no magic trick that makes this problem go away. I think that, the thing to think about is, would it make sense to drop to a lower actuarial value plan?
Open enrollment for the health care coverage under the Affordable Care Act opened on November 1st. It runs through December 15th if you want the coverage to begin on January 1st. If you want to delay a bit, the final day to enroll for coverage in 2026 is January 15th. In that case, coverage will begin on February 1st. You can review plans and get all the information at healthcare.gov.
I'm Andrew Saul, Commissioner of Social Security. Beware of telephone scammers pretending to be government employees. Real Social Security employees will never threaten you. Callers threatening you with arrest or other legal action and demanding money are not from us. If you receive a call like this, hang up, do not provide them with any form of payment or information. Report the call at oig.ssa.gov.
Mom and Dad used to argue about everything, especially about Dad's drinking. It drove me crazy. It got so bad, I couldn't do my homework. I couldn't concentrate. I absolutely refused to let any of my friends come to our house for any reason. I would have been humiliated if anyone found out how much my dad drank and how loud my mom screamed at him. My family went from totally crazy to quiet, calm, and even peaceful. The only thing that happened is my mom started going to Al-Anon family groups. Her relationship with my dad really changed. I asked Mom if she would take me to her Al-Anon meetings or to Alateen. I wanted to see if I could have a better relationship with my dad. I'm sure glad I did. If someone's drinking troubling you, you might be surprised at what you can learn in an Al-Anon or Alateen family group from people just like you. Call 1-888-4-ALANON or go to alanon.org.
2:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. Salt Lake man was arrested for allegedly stabbing his roommate. Police say they were called to the apartment on 3800 South Wednesday night and found 29-year-old Giovanni Melky and several witnesses who say Melky had stabbed a man in the living room. Melky allegedly told police his roommate was bullying and degrading him, so he grabbed the knife and attacked him. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Online shoppers have set a new record before Black Friday even began.
Overall sales on Thanksgiving Day did surpass expectations. We're talking about $6.4 billion in shopping. That's just online, and that was up 5% from last year. So that did exceed expectations, and this is data from Adobe Analytics. One thing that I found interesting in this data is that most of that shopping online took place earlier in the day, so between the hours of 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. So basically people are sitting around, they're waiting for the food to cook, and they're shopping on their phones.
ABC's Elizabeth Schulze reporting. Your money at this moment, the stock market closed early today. The Dow closed up 289 points. The S&P was up 36 points. And coming up, temperatures fall this weekend. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time 2:31.
Maria Shilaos coming to you from Cactus and Tropicals, the brand new Midvale location. With me today is the general manager, Kathy Harbin. And if you are decorating today, this is the day to come in and be inspired by the wonderful decorations. But this is also the day for them to come in and really be inspired for gift giving.
That's true. We have a lot of really fun gifts to give anyone. Our amaryllis and paper white kits are designed specifically every year to be a ready-to-go gift. They're planted with beautiful bulbs from Holland, amaryllis and paper whites. They're beautifully wrapped. You give them to your neighbors or friends. They unwrap them, they start watering, and soon they turn into beautiful holiday bulbs for the season.
And your plant classes can be a wonderful gift as well.
That's true. We have a lot of different classes, from even yoga with the plants to sound bath to terrarium classes to wreath making. Go on our website. You'll see the list of all the many classes that we have at all three of our locations.
And for Small Business Saturday, you have some discounts.
Small Business Saturday, this Saturday, 20% off your entire purchase at all three of our locations. If you are a Garden Club member, that's 30% off your entire purchase for Small Business Saturday.
And then you have specials, different specials every week through December. Tell us about that.
Every week we have a new promotion. Starting Monday, it is 30% off of all ornaments and holiday decor for the season.
Plus, you have a discount with the Bambino.
That is correct. Starting today, when you buy a pizza at the Bambino, you'll get $10 off any Christmas tree throughout the season.
And the discount for Small Business Saturday, 20% off. You will find that at all three locations. Again, Cactus and Tropicals. I'm here in Midvale, but they have stores in Salt Lake and Draper as well.
Mr. Max, suiting for every important chapter of your life. Weddings, proms, new job, any celebration, mission callings, and more. Mr. Max there to suit your needs with 9 locations or MrMac.com.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. Here's Steve.
We have delays right now continuing right now. If you are traveling the southbound 215 west side belt, that ramp right there to westbound I-80 is still closed and has been for over 2 hours due to the cleanup of a semi-rollover crash. We still have a crash on eastbound Highway 40 way out east, affecting traffic in both directions between Currant Creek and Fruitland. And the parking lots are full with busy Black Friday traffic by the malls, especially by Fashion Place on State Street between Midvale and Murray. Step aboard history, walk through recreations, see real artifacts, and feel the legacy of Titanic. The exhibition now open at the shops at Southtown and Sandy. Tickets at thetitanicexhibition.com. Steve Carlson in the KSL Traffic Center.
A high of 54 today with partly cloudy skies. Temperatures drop tomorrow to a high of 44. We'll see temperatures stick to the low 40s through next week. Right now, 52 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com for Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. You're listening to Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. From the crossroads of the West to the Big Apple, one of Utah's high school choirs is taking their talents to New York City's Carnegie Hall. The West High School Choir received this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to perform at the renowned music hall this spring. Their director says it's a massive accomplishment and a proud moment for the community as a whole. The choir came to KSL Broadcast House this morning to talk about the experience and what it means to get this invitation. Before we get to that, though, you have to take a listen to them.
3 gates in of the east, 3 gates in of the west, 3 gates in of the north, 3 gates in of the south, 12 gates to the city, hallelujah.
All right, you have to admit they sound wonderful. Their director, Andrea Hernandez, tells me she feels overwhelmed with excitement and gratitude for this adventure.
It's one of those achievements that you realize, is this actually happening? And we feel so excited, but in the meantime, it's a little bit of imposter syndrome for me, where I think, are we going to be able to get there?
How did this happen?
2 years ago, we entered ourselves into a competition in California, and we placed in the gold ranking, which is the highest ranking that we could at that festival, which allowed us to perform at larger stages worldwide. And we applied then to the Carnegie Hall venue, and we were accepted. And now it's just a journey to get us there.
So tell us about your group and what it's taken to get you here.
So I like to start from when I first started working there, which was 5 years ago, and I actually started right in the middle of the pandemic at West High School. And it was, to say the least, a really difficult time in all performing arts, where many students were not engaged because it's a very difficult platform, a very difficult place to do music or anything performing arts related online. And it took a good year to 2 years to rebuild the program and to get students generated and interested in singing and then choral singing.
So what kind of practice, what have you been doing to get prepared for this?
Well, a lot of the practice comes from in-class rehearsals, and then I also call them early mornings. We have many different performances throughout the school year, as well as performances around the community. And one thing that this specific group behind me is special for is that we reinstated chorale, which is the top choir at West High School. It had been a long-standing tradition since about 1955, and then it came back just last year. And with the reinstitution of with chorale, which is 16 members, we were able to go to region and place straight superior ones, which led us to state, where we also received straight superior ones our first year back. So,
such a rare experience. Describe what this means for the students.
So our student population is very diverse at West High School. We are right downtown, and we have over 70 foreign languages spoken at our school. And our students come from every walk of life, and many of them may never have an opportunity like this again. And this is a chance for us to go as a team, as friends, as musicians, and I think it's safe to say we all will, it's an unforgettable experience.
Talk about the team for a minute and why that's so important.
The team, and I love to use this word because choirs are teams. It takes every voice part, it takes every person giving their all to make this group effort happen. This specific group is pushing me as a director. They all have such a drive to want to learn more. They're very hungry. They're hungry students for knowledge and to become their most excellent and very best selves. And as a teacher, I have to consistently pivot and give them more. And that speaks greatly to their talent, to their hardworking, their aptitude, and I'm just really grateful to be their teacher and provide that for them.
And that's quite a challenge for you as well, to continue to pivot, right?
Yeah. I mean, they keep me guessing every day, whether it's 6, 7, or the next thing. So I think that overall, I really find the enjoyment in my job every day. I'm lucky to be a director that gets to go to school every day, excited for what's next. What now do we get to learn and explore?
Okay, so as you were thinking about this in your head and planning everything, what are you most looking forward to?
I think the Carnegie experience itself. We've also been selected specifically as the featured choir. So how the Carnegie Hall works is multiple choirs come from all over the nation to create a large choir, and they then select one specific choir to be featured and perform 3 specific pieces on our own. And to be able to be a conductor, in that space is something I think I never thought of for this job, for this career, for any of that. And it's such a dream come true.
Okay, so what does it take before you actually take the trip? I mean, are you fundraising? What needs to happen here?
Okay, got you. So we actually are on our journey there, and we need money. It comes down to the fact that trips like this cost money. We have already earned a good amount of money, and we've sought out multiple sponsors throughout our community and had great contributions, but we still need more to get there. A trip like this, as you can imagine, is hundreds of thousands of dollars to get all these students on planes across the country to New York City, and the expenses there are also more than I think that we expected, but we really are working our hardest every day to fundraise and reaching out to local companies, local communities, members to contribute towards our cause.
She says the story of the choir is one of perseverance, teamwork, and the power of music to bring people together.
Attention Jazz Nation, the long wait is finally over. Mountain basketball is back and better than ever. Let's go! All tickets are on sale now, and you won't want to miss the action. Jump on the opportunity to watch your favorite players live and in person. Whether you're after season tickets, mini plans, or single game matchups, the Utah Jazz has got your back. There's a plan for every fan. Don't miss out. Secure your seats today and be part of the excitement all season long. Let's go! Visit UtahJazz.com today.
$1.5 trillion is parked on the sidelines. Projects that would help create good-paying American jobs are stuck in years of burdensome reviews. Permitting reform would unlock over 650 major U.S. infrastructure projects, from new roads and bridges to bringing more energy online. With faster, more efficient permitting, we can unleash America's economic potential. Let's move from waiting to building. Ready, set, let's build. Paid for by Business Roundtable.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. We're continuing to talk about this amazing experience for students in the West High School Choir, an invitation to perform at Carnegie Hall in New York City. Before the break, we heard about the opportunity from their director, Andrea Hernandez, but how do the students themselves feel about it? While they were visiting us here at KSL Broadcast House, I spoke with a few of them. Emma Mitchell is one of those students.
Well, I've been in West High Choir since I was in 8th grade, and I've been working with Miss Hernandez for the whole time. And I never thought I would be going to Carnegie Hall to sing with the choir. I have been working really hard, and it just means so much that I can go with my friends and my teammates to perform at one of the biggest venues in the world.
Okay, when you say working hard, describe what that means.
Well, I started in chorus in 8th grade, and I've been going to a cappella, which is the next highest level, and then finally chorale. I've been taking private vocal lessons, and I've just been trying to do everything that I can to improve my vocal singing. And around my community, I've been trying to help people through singing, so it's been a great experience. And
how do you help people through singing?
I went to the Ronald McDonald House to sing, and it was a really good experience. There was a lot of kids who were able to have a nice uplifting moment through hard times, and just similar thing with assisted living places and stuff like that. So
when you tell your friends about this, how do you describe this? What do you say?
About Carnegie Hall? Or,
yeah.
Oh, I say, we're going to Carnegie Hall, or we're going to New York, and I'm going with my friends, and we have to prepare a lot, we have to fundraise, but we'll get there, and it'll be an unforgettable experience.
What are you looking forward to most?
Just spending time with my friends, my teammates, being able to perform in Carnegie Hall. I think that will be a great experience. And overall, just getting to experience a new place in the world and getting to sing, do something that I love in those places.
Another student in the choir, Cameron Park, I asked him why this experience is so special for him.
So I'm a senior at West High right now, and for me this really does feel like a little bit of a capstone to my experience with West High choirs. I'm really, really grateful to share it with a lot of these people because I've known them for years and years and years. A lot of them since even before like high school. And so I'm really very grateful to be able to go on this trip with all these people. But beyond that, it's also a really good opportunity musically, right? To be able to say I got to perform at Carnegie Hall is kind of awesome. So yeah, I'm really excited.
So how do you hope that will help you in the future? Do you have a future in singing?
Yeah, so what I want to do in the future is probably write plays, musicals, and continue performing in like theater arts, as well as cultivate my own singing for those things. And this Carnegie Hall trip is a really great experience just to see a little bit what it's like in New York, as well as like what it's going to be like performing on some of these bigger stages and what the expectations are, as well as the level of like excellence we need to reach as a choir to get to these places. So really it is like it's a really great experience to be there, but a lot of the actual value of the experience is in like working towards getting there, right? Like all the practice we're putting in as a choir and developing the program, because as Ms. Hernandez said, this is only our second year with chorale, having it back. And so it's a really, really great experience to be able to build this community.
So how do you describe this to your friends?
Overwhelming is a great word. I would say maybe exhilarating a little bit, right? Like I get to tell people that I'm gonna go perform at Carnegie Hall with just like all of my friends, and we're gonna have this awesome New York trip. But a little bit more than that. Like it's really special to have like such wonderful educators that are able to like bring us into these spaces, right? And so for me, like this experience is really, really special, and I do tell people a lot, like this is such a great experience. But even more than that, like it's really, really rewarding as somebody who's done the choir for so long to be able to say that our group is going to Carnegie, right? Like it's a little bit, we put the work in, we've been putting the work in, and now we've made it.
The choir will head to Carnegie Hall in the spring. In the meantime, they need your help to get them there. To learn more about this opportunity and to see how you can help with donations, you can check out our website later today, kslnewsradio.com.
Traffic brought to you by Mountain America's Visa Triple Rewards. The one issue that we're having that's causing any kind of diversions or slowdowns for people is southbound 215 on the West Belt. If you're trying to go west near the airport to go west on I-80, that ramp is closed because of a reported rollover. And so while they clean that up, that ramp is going to be closed. You probably just have to cruise on down to the 201 highway and then head west there. The only congestion we're seeing on the map in Salt Lake County is over on State Street near the South Interchange and heading up towards Fashion Place Mall. Of course, this is a big shopping day, so it is a bit busy right around that area. If you're northbound or southbound through Weber and Davis counties, no problems there. And down in Utah County, we're looking good as well. Traffic's rough, but your parking lot doesn't have to be. GoPave Utah keeps things smooth with expert asphalt maintenance at GoPaveUtah.com.
Maria Shilaos
That's
coming to you from
GoPaveUtah.com. Eric Butler in the KSL Traffic Center.
Beautiful water feature behind me, and the Christmas spirit is in full force. If you need a little bit of inspiration today to decorate, we know you're doing your holiday decorating this weekend, this is the place to come. With me today is the general manager, Kathy Harbin. Describe for us the kinds of things that you can do to help people decorate for the holidays.
We have all kinds of beautiful holiday plants for the season: amaryllis, paperwhites, poinsettias, orchid arrangements. We can custom make any kind of holiday arrangement for tablescapes or for gifts to give. We also have live wreaths and garlands and Christmas trees, anything you can want to decorate your home or your neighbor's home for the holidays.
This is really a very unique space. Tell me about this new Midvale location.
It's smaller than our other locations. It's boutique-y and kind of funky, and it's designed with events and weddings and classes in mind. This space has an amazing rooftop patio that we'll have available this spring and summer for classes and weddings and events and whatever else we can think of. So come check it out.
All through the month of December, you have a different special every week. Tell us about that.
Starting Monday, all holiday ornaments and holiday decor are 30% off for the week, and then we'll have a new special starting the following Monday, and you'll have to stay tuned to see what that is.
Tell us about the discounts you have for Small Business Saturday.
Small Business Saturday tomorrow, very important to keep your shopping local in the community. 20% off of your entire sale at all 3 of our locations. 30% off if you happen to be a Garden Club member. We're also giving away free tote bags that day on Small Business Saturday.
You can find those discounts at all Cactus and Tropical locations, 3 locations. I'm in Midvale at the brand new store, but you can also find Cactus and Tropicals in Draper and in Salt Lake City.
Respiratory virus season is quickly approaching, meaning we'll see more flu, COVID, and RSV in our community. The good news is vaccines are available that will help prevent these infections and keep people healthy. For flu and COVID, everyone aged 6 months and older are recommended to be vaccinated to help protect ourselves and our families against serious illness. Fall remains the best time to be vaccinated. Respiratory viruses circulate year-round, but peak late fall through winter. Your doctor can recommend which vaccines are best for you and your family.
Brought to you by Intermountain Health and KSL News Radio.
You've got your whole life ahead of you, so choose a Medicare plan you can count on. And that's what you get with a Medicare Advantage plan from United Healthcare. With more than 45 years' experience serving its members, United Healthcare has plans with low monthly premiums that fit your life today and as your needs change tomorrow. The Medicare annual enrollment period ends December 7th, so go to uhc.com/Medicare today. United Healthcare Medicare plans. It's Medicare coverage Utah can count on.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Black Friday deals are back at Scandinavian Designs. For a limited time, discover incredible savings on Nordic-inspired furniture and decor for every space in your home. From statement pieces for your living room to instant upgrades for the dining room, bedroom, and more. It's the perfect time to refresh your favorite space or reimagine your entire home. Scandinavian Designs. We make it simple. You make it home. Stop by your local showroom today or shop online at ScandinavianDesigns.com.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. Opening a My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal record and interactive tools tailored for you. You can see if you are eligible to receive benefits, view spousal benefit estimates, and compare retirement benefit estimates at different ages or dates when you want to start receiving benefits. Already receiving benefits? Use your account to change your address, set up or change direct deposit, get a proof of income letter, and more. In most states, you can also request a replacement Social Security card. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security, securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
You were listening to a replay of an earlier episode of Midday with Maria Shilaos. This is Midday. I'm Maria Shilaos. It's become one of the more notable sights of the holiday season here in Utah, and it's coming back for another year. The Church of Jesus Christ Latter-day Saints is preparing to roll out their Light the World giving machines, and there will be several machines here in Utah. KSL News Radio's Adam Small joined me with the details.
They've become kind of an annual staple around the holidays, and I know members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints have become especially familiar with these. The church has been rolling them out around Thanksgiving and Christmas time pretty regularly since 2017, and they are back again. They are going to be in, as I look at my fact sheets here, 126 cities throughout the world. That encompasses 21 countries on 6 different continents. So the church, since 2017, has been gradually expanding this, where you go to these, they're little vending machines with like little cards, and on them you'll see something like, I want to buy a meal for someone in need. I want to get someone clean water. I want to get someone in a country where access to medical care is a little more scarce. I want to buy vaccines for kids who need them in another country, or I want in places where people have more livestock and grow their own food, I want to donate some chickens or I believe a piglet or something where people can in another country could have access to literal livestock, in clothing, all sorts of different things. You can go to this machine, basically pick what do I want to buy for someone in need, and then the church partners, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints will then partner with organizations here in the U.S. and around the world to then distribute those items that you purchased and give them to the people they feel that need them the most.
Okay, describe the thought behind this.
Well, a focal point, I mean, it's around the holidays, and they do it around the holidays for a reason. I mean, the center of the holidays, the church believes, is to remember the selflessness and the sacrifice of Jesus Christ, and that he gave his life for everyone on earth. And so that spirit of giving around the holidays, and they feel that's the best time to roll these out, is to get people in the spirit of giving around Christmas time. And so it's really getting people in that mindset of how can I help and serve other people and give the way Jesus Christ did.
Okay. And then if somebody wants to give locally, where would they find the giving machines?
Yes, so there are 5 cities in Utah where they will be again this year. I believe that was the same cities as last year. So for our listeners here on the Wasatch Front, there will actually be 2 in Salt Lake City this year. The City Creek Center, there's been one there for years. It will be there again. I believe there will also be one at the Church History Museum as well. We will have all the full information on our web article on kslnewsradio.com. So if you have any questions about dates, when they open, where exactly to find them, head to that article on our website. So 2 in Salt Lake City, Orem, there will be one again there as well. Ogden, there will be one there. Logan and St. George.
Anything else notable about the giving machines you'd like to add?
If you really want to, I feel like a lot of people that I know at least really like to try to find ways of how can I give to others around Christmas time? Because even if you're not religious, I mean, Christmas time is you go out of your way to get something for people you care about, whether that's a simple gift, a big gift, give to your family, your friends, maybe people you don't even know. It's a season of giving. And if you are looking for a way to do that, these giving machines might be the best way to do that. Because again, even if you're not a member of the church, if you're not religious, your donation, I mean, these don't just benefit members of the church. They go to people all over the world in need of something. So if you want to try to find some way, which I know so many people that do, want to find a way to give to others, find a way to get outside of their own personal shell, these machines might be a great way to do that for you. And you can find them in several different places here in Utah.
And it's fascinating, the different types of ways that you can give and to the people that you can give to. That is KSL News Radio's Adam Small there. You can find more information and details on the locations at kslnewsradio.com.
Do you worry about how much someone drinks?
Do you feel angry or depressed most of the time? Do you feel neglected or unloved?
Do you feel you attract people who tend to be compulsive or abusive?
Do you have money problems because of someone else's drinking?
Are you afraid or embarrassed to bring your friends home?
Do you feel that if the drinker loved you, she or he would stop drinking?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, you are not alone.
More than half of all adults have a family history of alcoholism.
Not everyone trapped by alcohol is an alcoholic.
Families and friends are suffering too. Al-Anon and Alateen can help. Call 1-866-200-0223 or visit alanon.org/help.
KSL FM Midvale, KSL Salt Lake City.
Good afternoon, 3 o'clock at KSL News Radio. Live in the studio, I'm Jeff Kaplan, right now 52 in Salt Lake City. KSL's top story, a Utah couple is sharing their wild Thanksgiving story The arrival of a baby on the shoulder of I-15 as they were racing to the hospital. KSL News.
As I was pulling off, I literally looked over and just watched baby launch. Just right into mom's hands. Boom. Right